So you may not noticed, especially if in the UK, there has been a massive uproar about obviously the rise in energy prices, more specifically the rise in gas prices, that has been causing a lot of very small um, companies that do supply, uh, or should we say, provide some of this electricity to go bust. In fact, I think we've had about between 8 to 9, I believe, go bust. And of course, this has led to a lot of, shall we say, interesting speculation. One that I definitely agree with, that lots of these suppliers who do go bust should be essentially all brought together under one umbrella and brought into, again, public ownership. Again, but remember, we are under a Tory government, so the likelihood of that happening is slim to none. But again, you know, could be plans there. Needless to say, now we are now looking at potentially, as we've seen from one plant, or should we say one fertilizer plant, we are now essentially providing taxpayer money to keep that plant up and running. And like I say, this is having a lot of knock-on effects for so many other industries, especially heavy industries. Again, I keep on saying and mentioning about the steel industry, how big energy bills they have. This is going to have a massive knock-on effect in their industry, and makes an even bigger case where I keep on banging on about constantly about the decarbonisation of our steel industry. It would level up those areas and also provide green jobs. Again, Johnson could hit two birds with one stone, but again, he doesn't have the political creativity to be able to see or even do that, let alone the will in the Tory party to be actually able to do it. So let's get down to the cause on this. Let's go through this article from the Kent Bylines. It's very good, very well written, and does get to the cause of it. And by the way, the TDR for those people, yes, Brexit is one of the causes for the energy rises. But anyway, before we do jump into it, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page, as well as a one-station link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do support the channel that way. So let's jump into this. So as we said, this is from the Kent Bylines. And the title is Brexit a cause of rise in energy prices? So, a fire broke out at a National Grid site in Sellindge in Kent on the 15th of September. And then, by the 19th of September, the national news was telling the British public to expect a big rise in energy prices. So what's going on? Why does this fire cause a price rise? The fact is that a significant proportion of UK energy needs are met by imports from Europe, all called interconnectors, and some of these come to our shores in the form of gas pipes under the North Sea from Norway, while electricity arrives by France by cable under the Channel. This is the cable that is now inoperable until the 13th of October. So the national media have given a variety of reasons for the projected price increase to UK customers. Resurgence of the economies after COVID, world shortage of gas, not enough wind around the British coast, and so on. They seem to be unable to utter the main reason, which is, of course, Brexit. Since the withdrawal from the EU, the UK is no longer able to participate in the internal energy market of the European Economic Area. This participation is based on the rules administered by the Court of Justice of the European Union, and which the EEA states that they accept the authority of the European Court of Justice, such as Switzerland and Norway can participate, but not states like the UK that reject the European Court of Justice. So, the EU internal energy market is developed across from the years from 1996, but by slow process of agreeing to principles and rules of operation. Here are just some of them. So, free market of energy companies rather than monopolies. Risk preparedness, setting up an ACRE, an agency of cooperation among energy regulators. Customer protection with the right to use smart meters and choice of provider. Paying for hoster interconnectors and the fee for them used by third countries. Rules against state subsidies for power plants. Single transforming of allocating TOS, that's the transmission system operators. A single day ahead system for the EU electricity market. Nominated electricity operators, or NWOs, to participate in this. Incentives to move forward towards, again, greener energy. So most of these are rules which are incorporated into the EU Withdrawal Act, but are exempt from remit. The EU regulation 12227 to 20211, which prevents market manipulation by a third country. Now the UK is barred from the day-ahead schemes and the sales and has to rely on the spot auctions, which result in much higher wholesale prices. In the UK, Ofgem, or the Office of Gas and Electricity Markets, controls the market link. From its own website, we learn that the UK has now at least 49 active energy suppliers. 37% of these belong to foreign-owned companies like the French EDF. Ofgem operates and prevents extortionate price rises by fixing the rate of the year in advance, currently with the guarantee that the shared variable for the UK household is at least £1,138 for a year's supply. What we've heard on the news is this is likely to rise next year as soon as Ofgem announces the next price cap. Some 40% of customers' energy bills consist of wholesale energy prices, and the increase in these prices is what the consumers will have to suffer. The energy suppliers make very little pre-tax profit. Gas is currently at 0.044%, and electricity is now 1.82%, i.e., operating at a loss. Which explains why the smaller companies are going out of business. The larger companies will be able and compelled to take on these customers of these failing companies, and the government will lend them money to do so. It is sad that public money will have to be spent on this rather than investing in greener energy or even subsidising better home installation. The UK national media are currently giving these reasons as the reason for this crisis. Of course, with the world increasing gas demand as part of COVID recovery. Not enough supply of liquid natural gas from Qatar, not enough wind around the UK, and of course the recent interconnector cable fire at Sellindge. But discerning readers can also note some of the very long-term trends that our politicians have ignored. Declining gas from the continental shelf. While most of the UK electricity is indeed from gas-powered generators, which are now more reliant on imported gas. The aging nuclear plants. Douglas is being decommissioned, so more reliance on, of course, the interconnector that delivers electricity from the French nuclear plants. Investing in new, smaller energy suppliers is not big enough to face an economic crisis of supply and demand post-pandemic. And of course, lastly, choosing a hard Brexit and opting out of the EU internal energy market. However, there is a slight upside. One advantage of this, maybe at least, is that the UK government may actually be able to subsidise companies for innovating greener energy technologies, because this is the kind of state subsidy that is ruled out by the EU market regulations. But it looks like that such of the money, or such of that UK money, the energy is likely to go on bailing out the customers of the failing energy companies. This is not necessarily in EU countries where energy prices are far better protected by the internal energy market. So, a significant cause of the pricing of energy for the UK residents is indeed Brexit, even though the quote patriotic media are keeping very, very quiet about it. So, as you can see, it really is Brexit. You know, we're out of the internal energy market. There's no other better way to put it. And if again, Brexiteers want to go on it and say that, oh no, it's not Brexit, it's something else, it's, you know, lack of supply. Well, here's the problem. Why aren't other countries experiencing the same level of crisis we are? You know, they're not experiencing it, but we are. And you know, I've said this before, but I think we are in for a very, very bad winter. And Boris Johnson and the rest of the Brexiteers have really got to hope for the global warming really does kick in, and hope that we have a warm winter this year, or else there really will be another winter of discontent for the Tories this time, and it is going to hit them hard like a political sledgehammer. But As always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and my one donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all